welcome to Four Weebs That Anime podcast. My name's Leah. I am the host of the evening, and with me is...
Liam Des.
So we're gonna talk about some episodes of good anime watched and the quote-unquote bad anime that we watched.
So bad.
But before that, last week we had a bit of a... I don't know, not a discussion.
The surprise
we were confused.
Twist.
Yeah.
The bad anime last week was Chaos Head, in case you didn't know. And the words Chaos and Head are tied together with a semicolon, which is similar to the way Steins Gate was spelled. And as we were looking at the My Anime list page, I was like, what? Steins Gate is, related to this? How? In, the kind of related anime section. So I researched it, and it's not a big deal. They technically are in the same universe. It's just Steins Gate is set in Akihabara and Chaos Head is set in Shibuya. But I think the way the post explained it is as soon as Okabe sends the first text back in time in Steins Gate, he goes into the first alternate timeline, which is so that's the point where it's no longer in the same universe as Chaos Head. But yeah. So yeah, there's your useless weeb nerd knowledge for the week. You're welcome.
The more you know, the more you know. All right.
So what's the theme animes for this week?
So the theme I was going for, because I was kind of inspired by last week, was to go for kind of supernatural, mystery, that kind of thing. One of the shows were what I expected and the other one was not. But we'll get into that. Yeah. So we'll start with the quote-unquote good anime. Technically, the good and the bad anime really aren't that far apart by score-wise, but I felt like being nice to us. So...
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So we're going to start with the quote-unquote good anime, which was Gosick. So I'll just quickly read the synopsis here again. Kazuya is a foreign student at St. Marguerite Academy, a luxurious boarding school in the southern European country of Seville. Originally from Japan, his jet black hair and dark brown eyes cause his peers to shun him and give him the nickname Black Reaper, based on a popular urban legend about a traveler who brings death in the spring. On a day like any other, he visits the school's extravagant library in search of ghost stories. However, his focus changes as he becomes curious about a golden strand of hair on the stairs. Long story short, he finds a beautiful doll-like girl known as Victorique. And together they have to rely on each other to solve mysteries.
What's the score on Mal for this one?
8.21.
That's pretty good. So since you said you were kind of surprised, and I was also a little surprised, let's talk about what we were expecting.
I was expecting something more dark.
Something spookier? Yeah,
maybe not necessarily spookier, but yeah, just more darker and maybe a little more air of mystery about the show, and then it turned out to be more lighthearted, you know?
Yeah, it kind of made me think of maybe Sherlock Holmes a bit.
Yeah, I definitely thought
anime
that.
Sherlock Holmes with a lolly girl.
Let's say a lolly girl Sherlock.
And a high school boy. Yeah.
I did check because I was curious how old Victorique is, and she's the same age as the guy. She's just 100% lolly girl. They're both supposed to be 15. So
are they high school age or junior high aged?
I think junior high, so that would be grade 9-ish. Because what I found on Victorique, it said she was 15, and then what I found on Kazuya was that depending if it's the manga or the anime, he's anywhere from 13 to 15. So I think they're both just
so that's grade 9.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, yeah. I wasn't super surprised watching it, but I wasn't expecting it to come across as so just Sherlock Holmes mystery TV show. Let's solve the mystery. But I enjoyed watching it still.
Oh, me too. I still really enjoyed it. I think what it was for me, so I watched 3 episodes. The first one, it's like the first
Same.
episode just kind of seemed almost disjointed to me. It's like they
Yeah.
almost had a hard time trying to get into the whole like these two are going to partner up and just solve mysteries now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like we were going to kind of get more of a like, ooh, who's this girl? What's happening? Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
boom, it's like, okay, we're going on this ship. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're
But
teaming
then,
up with this detective guy with a crazy pompadour.
pompadour
I'm glad
unicorn.
that they I'm glad that they acknowledged the pompadour
Me too. Me too.
because he was like, "That's the most ridiculous hair I've ever seen." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Well, that you don't see that often in anime,
You're not
actually."
wrong. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. Did it come up? Did you get any like Scooby Doo vibes at all? Random question.
Um, no, again, more Sherlock Holmes, just because
Yeah.
the way Victorique is very like, let me explain my deductive reasoning and smoke my
Yeah.
pipe
Yeah.
that no smoke actually comes out
Yeah.
of.
This is a
No,
pipe.
but now that you say it, it does. I
I
could
think
see
the
that. I could
Scooby Doo
understand.
vibes. I mean, the Scooby Doo vibes kind of overlap with the Sherlock Holmes vibes
Hmm.
in the sense it's like the first episode's kind of half set up. The second episode, they are trapped on this boat, and like a lot of people think it's like a ghost ship that matches with this like folklore tale. But then Victorique, or in Japanese Victoriku, was all like, no, this is like the trick here. They use like a curtain here, and then they solve it by the third episode. So I'm thinking like, okay, so is this show just gonna be a bunch of like 3 episode mystery arcs?
Yeah, I
Because
think
I
it's
figure like by the second episode, I'm like, okay, so this mystery here could lead into like a very big. It could like lead into like a big thread of like a big
yeah.
mystery for like the whole 24 episodes, or it could be like a bunch of short mysteries that they solve together that might build
Hmm.
up into something bigger down the line. So
I
by the
feel
end of
like
the third one, I was feeling like it's gonna be a little okay. Like every 3 episodes, they solve a new mystery, and maybe
that's
it
what I
gets
think
like they
too.
throw in. Maybe the whole theme of the show is gonna be like the boys gonna be the ones and like, oh, there's this supernatural and stuff, because kind of the way they introduce the show, there's a lot
Mm,
of like spooky folklore stuff, and people were like calling him the Black Reaper.
yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
like, Victoria will always be the logical one that like proves everyone wrong with her intelligence.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's totally going to be like, just a bunch of arcs where they solve mysteries, but the whole overarching thing is finding out more about Victorique and then a whole like self-discovery thing for um Kazuya. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You're probably right about that. I guess that's the thing that makes me. That's the only thing that's making me want to check out more of the show, is just to see where it will go. But I feel
Me
like
too.
if it is very like mystery, every like solve a new mystery every 3 episodes, I don't really want to watch that. The only reason I want to watch it would be maybe like if it does evolve into something more like
Hmm.
bigger and more mysterious or spooky.
Yeah, I think it would depend too, like if they made the like little mystery arcs intriguing enough, then maybe I'd keep going. But yeah, they'd still definitely have to have some like overarching thing happening.
I did.
Uh,
It was like the first mystery wasn't that bad.
no.
I thought it was pretty cool, and like they tied it in with some like World War I history while
Hmm.
like having it set in this like made up European country.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that too. I liked the animation as well, and like when I was watching it, I was
Yeah,
like, this reminds me of so many things, and like the main one was like Orin High School Host Club, and then I looked it up, and that's
yeah.
because it's by Bones, who
It's
does
Bones.
FMA,
Yeah.
Orin High School Host Club, Norigami. I'm like, I love all of them.
Yeah, I remember I watched like when I started watching, I'm like, okay, well, in the credits is like it's Studio Bones, so I kind of like was not surprised at like the anime. It wasn't like amazing just because it wasn't
No.
like an action show, but it was like good and consistent the entire time. And
Hmm.
the intro was pretty good. The outro was pretty good.
Hmm.
But like feel like the strongest point of the show is like that mystery element, and I'm not like, I enjoyed it, but I'm not entirely sold to watch more at this point. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, I feel like I'd give it a couple more, and then, like,
Yeah.
that's the opportunity that it has. And if it doesn't get me, then that's it. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, but when I finished the 3 episodes, I was feeling like pretty okay.
yeah,
Like,
me too.
I
Like,
feel
I
like I
definitely
should check
enjoyed
out
it.
two more and
Mhm.
see how I'm feeling. But then that changed a bit when I watched the second one.
Mm.
So, but what about you? Do you think you're gonna watch more?
I think I'd be willing to give a couple more episodes a try, for
Hmm.
sure. And
And were
then
you
see how it
sub or
goes.
dub?
I watched both.
Yeah,
Actually,
same.
the dub wasn't as bad as I would have anticipated
Yeah,
because
yeah, it was Funimation. So
and they didn't give Victorique, like, I was expecting them to have like a super like obnoxious lolly voice, or what, they
yeah,
think is a lolly voice in English. But no, they
yeah,
actually gave her like this pretty nice, like, it was kind of like a deep monotone. I actually quite enjoyed
yeah,
it. Yeah.
a regular high school girl voice or junior high
Hmm.
school girl.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite moment was when he, what's the boy's name again? They're on like the ghost ship,
Fujo
and he's
Kazuya.
like, yeah, and he's like, this is exactly like that one like story I read in the book with like the ship that comes back that all the people died on, and then she does that like really deep, fake sarcastic laugh. She's like ha
Oh yeah.
ha 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 ha, and
Yeah.
it was pretty funny.
And he's
And
like, "What
then
the
he's
hell is
like,
that?"
"Why are
And
you
she's like, "It's
laughing
rude
like
not to
that?"
laugh."
She's like, "I'm laughing at that because you just told a joke," and she did that twice. And yeah,
It was
I think I
funny.
heard it in the sub both times, and yeah, it was pretty
Hmm.
funny. That's probably my
Yeah,
favorite moment, to
I
be
think so
honest.
too. Yeah, like, they're definitely two endearing characters, I would say, which is
Yeah,
why,
yeah, that
like,
was
that's what does leave you kind of wanting a little more, because, well, Victorique is just, she's intelligent, but she's also like she's just really cute, like, and
but
does
it's
funny
not like,
things.
it seems a bit different than like the other kind of like shy boy, cute small girl combos I've seen in animes. Like
Exactly,
this
it's
one is
different.
just a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more interesting.
Hmm. Well, yeah, and like, Kazuya is not like a whiny teen. Like, he's like a pretty
Yeah,
confident young man kind of thing, just like a regular person.
he's like the
And
international
yeah,
student.
hmm
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he's
no. So
not
I
the
think
typical protagonist of a harem anime.
exactly. So I think that's definitely what, like, intrigues me the most, to like kind of keep going a little bit, is to see where their characters go.
Yeah,
So.
their relationship is like one of the stronger parts of the show, and it was
Hmm.
cool to see like because it does have that historical background and kind of like some elements of the first mystery make it so like there's uh, people from like different ethnicities animated into the
Hmm.
show, which you don't see super often,
No, you
mostly
don't.
because like a lot of anime isn't really set. It's usually set in Japan or like somewhere that isn't like historical Earth. So
Yeah, like, I find like a lot of anime does do, like, kind of like Code Geass, like they do a lot of the like Britannia English thing, but they still never, like, it doesn't actually ever really seem any different than an
yeah,
anime
well,
that
Code
takes place in
Geass, there's
Japan quite
like
often.
that was it did make me think of Code Geass. Code Geass, they have like specifically Chinese characters and like that one Indian
Hmm.
lady who's the one of the mech engineers and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But so that was like just a small detail I appreciated.
Yeah. No, it definitely had its like little charms about it, I guess, if you want to say. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth to keep watching. And it's nice because it's like light, but still has a bit of interesting factors
Yeah,
to it.
be a good
So
light show.
yeah, exactly. So yeah. Hmm.
Well, is that a sign to move on to the next one?
I think
Like
so.
start comparing.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about the next one, then we can compare them, I
Yes,
guess.
yes, yes. All right. So the quote unquote bad anime, which really, if you're basing off MAL scores, isn't a whole lot lower, had a 7.84, is another. So in 1972, a popular student in Yomiyama North Middle School's class 3-3 named Misaki passed away during the school year. Since then, the town of Yomiyama has been shrouded by a fearful atmosphere from the dark secrets hidden deep within. 26 years later, 15-year-old Koichi transfers to class 3-3 of Yomiyama North and soon discovers that the strange, gloomy mood seems to hang over all the students. He also finds himself drawn to the mysterious eye-patch-wearing girl Mai Misaki. However, the rest of the class and teachers seem to treat her like she doesn't exist. Paying no heed to warnings from everyone, including Mai herself, Koichi begins to get closer not only to her, but also to the truth behind the gruesome phenomenon plaguing Class 3-3 of Yomiyama North.
That description kind of like gives, like, I wasn't surprised watching this show. Like, the description I had read beforehand, I was like, okay, this is kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I remember like seeing the picture, the poster of it. I wasn't surprised by that either. And I did, because I thought the character with that eye patch was from a different anime, so I kind of did some research on that. I came across a Mal article on like the top 15 like hottest anime girls with eye patches. So she was on there, and then there was a lot. There's like way more girls in anime with eye patches than I remember. So I don't remember which one I thought I was thinking of, but yeah, there's a lot of eye patch waifus out there. Anyways,
that's funny.
I guess I mentioned something about that last week. So
yeah, you did. You were like, oh, I think I recognize this girl.
Anyways,
yeah, no, it was very much like you got what you expected. Like with Gosick, I got something different than what I anticipated, but with another, it was like literally exactly what I thought it was going to be, which wasn't a bad thing. It's, kind of
the first. I didn't watch the sub in this one, but I think like if I watch any more, I'll try at least an episode in the sub just so I know. I didn't mind the dub. It was like your standard.
Yeah, I didn't mind
dub,
it either.
I feel.
I watched an episode in both.
Yeah. I liked the animation. Like the animation was, or like just the backgrounds was a lot better than I expected it to be. Especially like the parts in like the doll shop and like the landscapes of the small town he's in. Those are really nice. No, and the designs of the characters were like a lot different from Gosick.
Yeah, definitely.
It kind of felt like. It kind of felt like a visual novel, but it's from what I understand, it's not an adaptation of a visual novel. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Kind of scrolling through right now.
Yeah, did you like the art better than Gosick?
Well, they're two totally different things, but yeah, I would say definitely that another is more of the kind of animation that I go towards.
It's at least like more interesting.
It's more interesting, and it's like it's more realistic, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that I liked it better. They were both good though. Like they both suited, what they were trying to go for.
Yeah, and I guess I'm realizing now like the characters are kind of the same ages in both animes, and they're both set. Well, I mean. Like it's both of them have like a girl and a boy character. They're about the same age, but that's about all they have in common. Yeah, another was like it kind of started off with that real like mysterious vibe where like the dialogue is kind of like unclear and a bit detached, especially when he's like interacting with the eye patch girl, obviously because they're presenting it very ambiguously. It's like because they're trying to, I guess, make you feel like you're in the main character's shoes, where like he thinks she's real, but like everyone else is acting kind of weird about it. So I thought the show did a good job in like putting you in his shoes.
It did, but at the same time, I was kind of like, okay, people, like,
yeah, I mean, it's really cheesy.
Where like, if I was him, I would have been like, okay, like, what the hell are you guys not telling me? Because they're like really blatant about it. Someone's about to tell him about this girl, and then they're like, no, not now, blah, blah, blah. Or conveniently, when someone's about to tell him, that's when he'll see the ghost girl and be like, oh, never mind, bye. And then just like go to talk to the ghost girl. And I'm just like,
yeah, but with a ghost story like this, that's kind of like I was kind of just expecting the same kind of melodrama and cheesiness and like convenience that you would get from a horror movie and stuff like that. So I was okay with it. I thought it like fit the show well, even though it was like pretty silly. But most like horror and ghost movies are. Yeah,
I liked the tone of it. I just wish there had been like maybe one or two less times that his
yeah, that's a fair complaint.
That the other students were like, no, don't tell him. Okay, tell him. Like, other than that, no. Like whenever he would interact with her, I liked it. I enjoyed it for sure. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like when we first started recording today, I was about to be like, I liked another way better than Gosick, and like I think that's still true, but the more I talked about Gosick, I was like, actually, I think I enjoyed it more than I realized.
Yeah, I could kind of tell.
Yeah, but
I think I feel like I like them about the same, but I'm way more interested to check out the next episode of Another than I am to watch the next episode of Gosick.
I would definitely agree with that. Like, I definitely have more of an urge to keep watching Another than I do Gosick.
Yeah.
Because Gosick's kind of one, like, I enjoyed watching, but if I never finished it, I wouldn't be, like, crushed,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's fair. Another, and also the second episode of Another ends on, like, a really annoying cliffhanger, which is like, oh, are you ready to see what's behind my eye patch? Then she like takes it off, but then you don't see it, and then the episode ends, and you're like, of course.
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely watched like the first 5 minutes of the third episode because I wanted to know.
I see. Is it worth knowing? Is it worth knowing, or is it clickbait?
No, like they do actually show you what's under her patch. I won't spoil
it's not
it for
that
you, but
it's not like super clickbaity.
No. Like it's still satisfying, but you like.
All right.
All I can say is like, yeah, I only watched like the first 5 minutes to see what's under it, but you need to watch more than that to kind of.
Right.
Like I feel like I need to watch more to understand fully. And whatnot,
is it 24 episodes?
No, Another's only 12.
Okay.
And Gosick is 24.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's like, because I saw like that Gosick had 24. I'm like, so this could go like, they could have like a really big epic storyline that goes for 24 episodes, or it could be 24 episodes that are pretty repetitive.
I mean, I feel like it's Bones. Like Bones animes, like they always, probably because they're so big, they usually do get at least 24 episodes or a couple seasons for their shows. And they, from all the ones I've liked and watched, they've never been like it's not like a lot of shonen where, it's just these arcs that just separate and there's no point. Like, there's always a point to their shows. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully this one's the same. I know Another is the same studio that did Angel Beats.
Which studio is that?
Studio PA Works.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one, I feel like... Yeah, that one only being 12 episodes, that does make it more tempting to watch more of that one rather than Gosick.
I think just feel like
it's way less of a gamble,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
But at the same time, it could end up being like a lot of 12 episode shows where it feels like it would have been way better if it was 16 episods.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be like, like Kisniver.
Yeah.
Or it could be it probably won't be as good as Madoka Magica, but it could be a Madoka Magica in the sense that it's like 12 is the perfect amount of episodes. It's like it just gets the point across right away.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like if you
mixed reviews. This is when I was saying Another. I had a few mixed reviews based off of my anime list, like lots of like 8s, 9s, but then you get some like 3s.
Oh boy.
So I'm like, But that said, the people who are giving it that low seem like horror snobs. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Like people who are really into horror.
Horror with anime is in a weird spot.
Yeah, I would agree.
there's a YouTuber called Super Eye Patch Wolf. He does like some good anime videos, and he did one talking about like horror. He was specifically talking about the manga artist who did that. I think it's Uzumaki manga, and that's like the one that's like all about spirals, and it was made into a live action Japanese movie. But like I've read the comic, and it's good and nice and spooky and like really creepy. Like he's just really good at drawing very like disturbing images in manga. But yeah, the YouTuber was talking about like, you think with animation like it would be really easy to make like good horror stuff, just because like the limits, there's like less limits on animation. But like when you think of like really scary stuff, you almost never think of something that's animated, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Like I actually would think, like if I had to pick, I would say that manga would be easier to get like horror and creepiness across. Because
yeah, it's like, it's
sometimes
just
no matter
hard.
how you cut it, a lot of anime it's just cute, or that it's animated. Like yeah, it's just not the same.
Yeah, I liked watching Gosick because it was something different that I hadn't really experienced before or in a while. Like it was, supernatural, I guess, like horror technically, but it's like I don't usually, when I experience that, it's in live action and it just feels a lot different. So
Yeah,
so
I
it's
agree.
cool.
Maybe
It's a cool
that's
new
why.
feeling.
Yeah, I think that might be why I started realizing I enjoyed it more than I thought I did once we started talking about it, because I was like, it is kind of different than what I've watched lately. So, but then again, so was Another. I haven't really watched anything like Another in a while. So.
Well, I was talking about Another. I wasn't talking about Gosick.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Oh, I thought you said Gosick, so I was like, oh.
I mean, Gosick too, but Another is kind of where I was getting most of these feelings from.
Yeah, Another
I was thinking back
reminded
to
me.
like. Sorry, go ahead.
Another reminded me of an anime that I think Becca and I watched, and I just can't remember what it was called.
I was gonna say, like, I remember when we did like our first Halloween episode a long time ago. I guess that was like almost 2 years ago now. And like, I don't remember if it was your pick or Becca's pick, but like Pupa was the bad one. You remember that?
Oh,
I remember like that was definitely like very like, gory horror anime, but like because it was anime and not live action, it just like it was just kind of funny for you guys.
Yeah, Pupa was just weird. It's not.
But sorry, what were you gonna say? You said
just
it made you think of something.
It reminds me of an anime Becca and I watched at some point, and I don't remember what it was. It was the one where it's another like kind of horror school anime, but there's like a separate building that they're not allowed to go into.
Yeah, that sounds kind of familiar. Was it Shiki?
No,
wasn't it called
Shiki was
Shiki?
the like vampire town.
Oh. I see.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and find it. Now that's gonna drive me bonkers. But yeah, overall, I don't know. I enjoyed them both.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. Solid picks. But yeah, so you're saying the more we talked about Gosick, the more you were like, okay, yeah, no, Gosick was better than I thought it was. For me, it's like the more we talk about Another, it's like, yeah, no, I feel even more now that I don't really want to keep watching Gosick. I'd rather watch Another.
Oh, I still agree
how
with
much
that.
is on my list.
It's more that before we start talking, I was kind of like, Gosick was meh, but then it's like, now I realized I actually quite enjoyed it. But no, I still think Another was better and more up my alley, and I'm definitely more likely to keep going on that one.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at my anime watch list right now and just see. I'm just gonna look at what I got going and just see if Another would replace anything on it. The only there isn't a lot of stuff like Another on my list, so I feel like Another could be something I could blow through pretty quick, like as a painting show. But the visuals are pretty good, so it's not the best painting show.
Yeah,
the only other thing I really
like Gosick to me would be a better painting show.
The only other thing I have on the go like recently was Hunter x Hunter. I don't know. Well, I'll throw it on there and think about it later.
I found the show I was talking about that Becca and I watched. It was Ghost
Oh
Hunt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Ghost Hunt. Okay, I remember
Yeah.
that. I think that was one of my picks.
Let's see, what else was it with? It was Ghost Hunt and the Severing Crime Edge. No, that was me, I think.
Oh no. Oh.
That was definitely me because I remember picking that Severing Crime Edge one.
Severing Crime Edge. Oh yeah, I was. Oh, you remind me of something. I did like think a little bit of Severing Crime Edge when watching Gosick, just because like it was a boy protagonist with a girl with really long hair.
Yeah,
but,
actually, you're right.
Much different.
Yes, not the giant scissors.
Oh, that was a bad one. That was one of the bad ones.
I'm so happy I didn't actually have to watch that one. Or did I? I don't remember.
Now we all have to watch the bad stuff. So
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, we gotta do both. Mm-hmm.
Also, I think we're still trying to get used to it, but I think our episodes are gonna be a little shorter on average now.
Yeah.
With two of us. But that's fine.
I think so.
I feel like
listeners.
we've said what we need to say about these.
Think so. Yeah,
cool.
I think they're both worth the watch, listeners.
So we had this supernatural theme this week, and then last week it was kind of similar, but more towards like the cyberpunk end. So I went through my list for this week and thought I'd pick some stuff that's a bit more on the lighthearted side for my picks. If for those of you who don't know, we aren't doing the marble thing anymore because there's only two of us, so we just take turns picking each week, and we watch 3-ish episodes of the good anime and 2-ish episodes of the bad anime. I guess 3 and 2 is good. We'll just stick with that.
We'll stay with that.
And yeah, we both watch it because fair and equality. So I guess the theme for this week is like lighthearted lewd fun.
Oh yay.
So I guess the theme could be ecchi, probably. We could go with that. So the good anime has been on my list for a while. You probably heard of it. It's panty and stalking with garter belts.
I was just thinking about this one the other day and how I should pick it, so I'm actually excited for this now.
Yay. So, I'll read the synopsis. The Anarchy Sisters, Panty and Stalking, have been kicked out of heaven for, to put it mildly, misbehaving. Led by a priest named Garterbelt, these angels must buy their way back by exterminating ghosts in Datton City. But this task requires unconventional weapons for these unorthodox angels. They transform their lingerie into weapons to dispatch the spirits. Unfortunately, neither of them take their duties seriously, as they rather spend their time in pursuit of other hobbies. Panty prefers to sleep with anything that walks, and Stalking favors stuffing her face with sweets than hunting ghosts.
This sounds great. I'm excited.
Yeah, so this one gets brought up a lot.
Yeah.
It kind of it's cool because it switches animation styles a lot. Like it'll go from kind of a chibi style to kind of like a Studio Trigger style to kind of like a really detailed like transformation sequence. So I'm excited to check it out. And it's like it's a Gainax anime, so it's probably going to be filled with a lot of anime references.
Yes. Yeah, I've definitely wanted to watch this one.
Yeah. Came out in 2010. There's only 13 episodes. It's rated R for violence and profanity.
Sounds like it should be. So,
and I kind of paired this with another one to watch for the podcast a while ago. I've just been saving it. Is a show called Colorful, and I know there's a pretty popular anime movie called Colorful, but this is not it.
Okay, that's definitely what I was thinking of, and I was like, wait.
I had to, no. This movie Colorful is like colorful with a U. And yeah, that's a movie from 2010 that it's got like a 8 score, and I hear people talk about every once in a while. But yeah, this other one I had to dig a bit. It's Colorful without a U, the American spelling, and it's a show, and it's got a 6.2. Oh, by the way, Panty and Stocking has a 7. It's like a 7.8. So yeah,
Yeah, I
colorful. It's
pulled
got
up
a 6.2. I had to dig a bit to find it, but it's kind of it shares like the ecchi and comedy genres. So
Mm-hmm.
here's the synopsis for this one. It sounds pretty bad.
Oh, great.
The adventures and misadventures of men staring, peeking, glancing, looking, and glaring at women, and their efforts to get that extra eyeful of harmlessly exposed panties, bras, and occasional cleavage.
Just occasional.
Following at most a few regular males and the outrageous consequences of their actions. And that's all there is for the synopsis.
Oh boy.
I think, well, this one looks like it's going to be more of a slice of life.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just seeing this now. It's also like 6-minute episodes, so.
Oh. How many do you want to watch then?
Let's say 4 and see how that goes.
Okay.
I feel
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest too.
4 would be the regular amount anyways, but if it's like really cringy and bad, feel free to stop at 3.
Okay,
because it could be like after 2 episodes, you'd be like, okay, I know what the rest of the show is going to be like.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
this
it's
came out
potentially one of those. You're like, well, I've seen enough. Yeah.
1999. Came out in 1999.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
It's from Sentai Filmworks, who also did like Angel Beats, No Game, No Life, Clan Ad. They also did another. Oh, there's another tie-in. Yeah, they've done. Yeah, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm expecting some trash, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get like Garzy's Wing level trash. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll get like Garzy's Wing or like Keijo level trash, where it's like entertaining trash, or whether we'll get like trash that's like super painful to get through. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we'll find out.
Either way, panty and stocking should be fun, right?
I'm excited for that. Yes. Yeah.
Those ones, I believe, are regular. They're like 22-minute episodes, so.
Cool.
Okay. Right. I remember to do the social media plug this time. We've got a Facebook page. We've got My Anime List accounts that you can add us on. We've got a club on My Anime List that might get used someday. We've got a YouTube page with a few random videos. One day there'll be episodes of the podcast on there. It'll be the same as that are on Podbean, though, so don't stress out about it. And one time this summer, I'll edit the embarrassing video of me at Otafest interviewing people.
Yes.
We're also on iTunes if you like to use iTunes. So check us out there. Rate us 5 stars. That'd be cool. Or don't. Whatever. It's your life.
We won't tell you what to do, but we'll suggest it.
Thanks for listening. You're the best.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.